Hello and welcome to a brand new season of My Small Hobby YouTube channel. So I'm back in a new location, as you can see. For those of you who do not know, my name is Tomo and I mainly do scale model reviews on this channel, but I also do some builds and tutorials on occasion. So you can see that I've been busy during the summer. I moved from my dungeon, my previous accommodation, to this rather more spacious apartment, which is actually my girlfriend's apartment because I'm poor. But it's also a temporary solution, so I hope we will move soon to something more bigger, more affordable. Before we begin with this review video, I would like to mention a couple of things. First of all, I included some timestamps in the video description and in the video itself, so you can skip ahead to the review portion of this video. Second, I became a brand ambassador for Scale Models HQ. Scale what now? Scale Models HQ. It's a brand new website that launched just recently and it offers great quality products at reasonable prices. Best of all, because I'm a brand ambassador, I can give you guys a 10% discount code. So if you find something that you fancy, you can use it at your checkout and get yourself a nice 10% discount. Code is in the link in the description below. Now, these videos are going to be theme-based, which means that each month I'm going to be presenting a theme-based product, whether it be manufacturer-specific, scale-specific, or a thing-specific, like only airplanes, only tanks, cars, etc., you name it. For this month of September, we're going to be taking a look at 4 different EDUARD models. For those of you who are not familiar with EDUARD, EDUARD is a scale modeling manufacturer that mainly produces airplanes of various scales. But EDUARD is most famous for their detail up parts, which they make for other brands, such as photo etch parts and resin parts. They mainly produce 2 types of model kits, Weekend Edition and Professional Edition. The difference between these 2 products is mainly in the amount of stuff you get and of course the price connected with them. Weekend Edition models are basically more simple models, are cheaper, they're usually below 20 euros, and they basically contain just a model with your standard instruction sheet of paper and decal sheet. While the Professional includes photo etch parts, mask, and sometimes even resin parts, and of course it's therefore a little bit more expensive, but far more cheaper than other more mainstream manufacturers from Japan and China. For this video, we're going to be taking a look at the newest release or reboxed version of the Focke-Wulf 190D-9 in 1/48 scale. Without faffing around too much, let's take a look at the model. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the all-new Focke-Wulf 190D-9 in a new box. Model number 84102, Weekend Edition, which means only the parts and decals, nothing fancy. The model itself is reasonably priced and it's aimed towards beginners. This particular model comes in 4 different paint schemes, which you can see right here. The boxes themselves are not big and clunky, and I quite do like the new redesign from EDUARD. Once opening the box, you can see the contents, which are the decal sheet of paper and various plastic parts that make up the airplane. They're all nicely packed in individual bags, so that means that the parts are nicely secured inside the box and will not be thrown around. The styrene plastic used is not their typical EDUARD plastic where you would identify them immediately, but nevertheless the parts are excellent with lots and lots of detail. For me, the quality of the model is also defined with a clear part sprue, which this one delivers in spades. These parts are crystal clear, very shiny and very well made, with lots of detail and various canopies for different types of airplane, or specifically different version of the airplane. As per usual, I will show you some detailed close-up shots of the sprues so you can see absolutely how detailed each individual part is, starting with the cockpit, the wheels, the gears, the levers, the switches. Every single thing on this aircraft is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. This is more a personal preference, but I do like to see nice, clear and sharp panel lines, not too deep but not too shallow. I also like to see a lot of detail on the surface of the aircraft because that's basically what you usually see when you are looking at the model at a distance. But of course, this model does not disappoint even when you're looking at it up close and personal. Just look at all the rivets and the panel lines and the details that are just on the outside of the airplane. The second thing that I like to see done well on an airplane model is the propeller and the engine detail, because that actually makes or breaks a model in my opinion, especially the exhausts, which on some models are pretty bad, but on this one, not so. Of course, this being an EDUARD model, you get a quite substantial decal sheet of paper to represent all the 4 different variants of this Focke-Wulf 190D-9. And these decals are fantastic. They're very sharp, clear, and very well made. The detail on even the smallest text can be seen easily, as seen on this macro shot of this decal sheet of paper. These text, these letters are really tiny, and you can just see them and read every single thing, no problem at all. Of course, every single scale model manufacturer also gives you a manual, and EDUARD is no different. This time a manual is an A-type glossy paper finish manual with semi-color elements to help you navigate through the build process. Personally, I think that the manual is very well laid out, it doesn't feel cluttered or claustrophobic, and the steps shown are clear and simple to read, which is especially important if you are aiming this model towards the beginner. And in the end of the manual, in full color, there are 4 different paint schemes for 4 different versions. There we go. Thank you so very much for watching. If you haven't, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.